it's me, Renee. I'm back. So today I'm here for a little bit of different video. Well, different, yeah, different-ish. It's not solely focused on books, though there are some books tangentially in there now and then. But yeah, as you see by title, I said title it Fun Friday! Because this is just kind of me talking about stuff that's coming up and stuff that has happened. So, all the vitamin stuff that has happened, stuff that will happen. Yeah, well, anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about, yeah, some things that I loved and some things I'm excited for. I suppose I love those as well, but yeah, in a different way. Also, to make it a bit more exciting. Well, it's not that hearing me talk about fun things that I love is not exciting, but I kind of decided today to do a little extra. So today I'm gonna, while I talk about this stuff, I'm gonna be eating Norwegian chocolate. So I suppose often or sometimes you see videos on YouTube of people eat chocolate from other places. Here it's chocolate that I'm familiar with, but you probably won't be. So yeah, it's just kind of a little bit of a show off, or just kind of promote the good tasty Norwegian chocolate. Although it's not sponsored, so don't feel like you have to buy them or like this is a fake video. I mean, I love all this and I love all the things I'm going to talk about. So yeah, it's nothing fake here, nothing fake at all. And yeah, as I said, these are all Norwegian chocolates. So I suppose if you live in Australia, you're like, oh, it looks so good, I can't eat it. Well, actually, someone said that a few years ago, actually, that they found dime and other stuff at the local IKEA. So I suppose you could try to find Norwegian chocolate in IKEA. And of course, like if you live in LA or New York or maybe in Sydney, like anyway, like if you live in big cities, it's not impossible you'll find these kinds of chocolate. Maybe in a store that sells fun food, a store that sells international food, or simply at your airport, though who are traveling nowadays? I don't know. I suppose you might be. Maybe you work in the airport. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna be I'm gonna be eating some of these. And yeah, so I'm gonna start with the, oops. I'm gonna start and open up this one, Quick Lunch. It's kind of, I think this is kind of like maybe one of the most cherished in a way Norwegian chocolates. It's actually one of the oldest ones. It was created in like, I think maybe 1884. No, 18 oh no sorry 1908. Anyway, long time ago. And it was like I read one time like the story behind it. I don't remember it correctly or strictly, but it was something like it was someone who'd eaten a chocolate and kind of wanted to have like chocolate uh with cookies with like, and now suddenly words are failing me. Yeah. Perfect, because at the back it says like in English. I can just check out in English. It has, yeah, so it has like mice in it, corn, so like it has crunchy feeling. So it's not pure chocolate, but it's milk chocolate, and then it's covered in corn. And yeah, people usually eat this while they go on trips. Trips, that sounds weird. While they go hiking. So if you go hiking in the woods, in the mountains, maybe you go hiking to the beach, wherever really, you might have one of these with you. You might also have an orange with you and enjoy that while you enjoy a nice scenery. So yeah, I'm gonna just open this one and then comment because I can't talk while I eat. Well, I can't open this one for anything. And then I'm gonna talk about the first thing on the agenda. No, that's wrong. On the first news, on the first item, on the first thing, on the first topic. Let's just say that. So yeah, this is how it looks. Now you have like bars of like, I'm just blanking on words at the moment, but it's like it's corn, so it's like yeah, it's like cookies in a way. Yeah, it's corn cookies. Mm, I think actually I once saw that some sort of English American chocolate was kind of similar. Of course, at the moment I can't remember it. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, it's very tasty. So very very good. And the first topic, that sounds so formal. The first thing I'm going to talk about is Umbrella Academy 2. Well, that sounds weird. It's not a second version. Umbrella Academy Season 2. It's not Season 4. Season 2! Yeah. So, as with everyone, or a lot of people in the world, I saw it early this year when it came out. I was very excited. Though it came out, I think it came out like around July. I think it was something like that. And I remember like really looking forward to it, obviously. I saw the first, I think maybe 3 or 4 episodes one weekend, but like this one was on Saturday, and then Sally on the Sunday, and I think a few days after I went away because it was summer, so I think I went on a little location. And when I went away, I couldn't really watch it because I think I went to my cabin, so I didn't have Wi-Fi. So yeah, so I actually didn't see it all in one go. But then when I got back, I was like, I need to see more, and then I saw the rest of it. I was like, oh, it's just blown away. I loved it. It was so fun to have them back in time and to kind of have them separated in a way. Like they had all their different uh, plots. Well, so they still had their different plots in season 1 as well. But like now they have like very different aspects. Like yeah, I should have prepared more because Emily, no Emily. Okay, so one of the siblings, she's African American, and she experiences being black in the past because I mean usually she's rich and privileged and stuff, but now she's in the past. She has no means, and yeah, she has to get by. She finds a husband, but still things are difficult. Being back in that time kind of was. Though with that, I kind of had a thing to an asterisk to comment on really because in the season finale, not season finale, but like the penultimate or like in the last part of season 1, her sister Vanya, she threw a knife in her throat, and then in the last few episodes of season 1, the African American. Sorry, this is just bugging me. No, you know what? I'm just gonna check what her name is. I'm gonna get back to you. Right here. Yeah, I'm back. So Allison is what I'm referring to. Allison, she's African American, one of the Hargreaves that's African American, and yeah, and at the last part of season 1, she was hurt by her sister Vanya. She threw a knife in her throat, and because of that, she kind of had to she didn't have a voice, she couldn't talk. She had a big bandage. Like, oh, this looks so dramatic. And I remember like last year, like before we knew that much about season 2, it was a thing like, okay, will she learn to use sign language? Will she write to people? How is she gonna work in this world without voice? And then they gave her voice back, and that wasn't really explained. I suppose you could just crack it up to like magic or Umbrella Academy thingy because it's a weird world with weird rules. But like when she came first to the 60s, she had a bandage and she didn't have a voice. But like seems like and she was from like many years in the past before the others. But still seems like you after a while kind of suddenly her voice came back. I suppose maybe it's kind of meant as like symbolism that like after a while she found husband, she found a society, she doesn't demonstrate blah blah blah. That's good, but like I don't know if it's like isn't it a bit problematic like for like if you're not deaf, if you're I mean there's people in real life who don't have a voice, and to like have them kind of not really be portrayed in media or like being portrayed as being able to be fixed and that they're not really valid in that way. It seems a bit weird, I would say, problematic really. But yeah, other than the Allison thing, other than Allison thing, of course, there was plot lines below all the characters. I loved, I really loved Klaus' story in the first season, but season 2, Klaus and them, it was just so fun to see them together, and yeah, you just kind of had much more Ben this season. And yeah, Klaus with his Destiny's Children, it was just so good. It was just like him spouting out quotes from like songs from our time and to kind of give guidance. It's just so Klaus, so good, so good. Loved it, loved it, loved it. It's kind of everything you need in the year of effed up mess we are in this year. So yeah, Umbrella Academy season 2 was just so good. Another thing that I kind of want to talk about regarding that is one of the villains this season was the Swedes. First, they were just kind of referred to as the Scandinavians. I think they were called like something Scandinavians. I'm gonna check that out as well because I want to be sure. Blah 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 blah. Let's check it out. What were they called? Doesn't say you. No, of course doesn't. Let me check it out. Blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna pause you. Sorry. Yeah, Wikipedia just says the Swedish man. I'm pretty sure it was talking about like something like the crazy Swedes. Something I think it was like something as Swedish. But anyway, okay. So yeah, the villains were supposed to be Swedish. Me being Norwegian, and I think there was kind of one of the first things you kind of knew about the season 2 was like antagonists were Swedish, or maybe like the first reviews. Anyway, I remember like first um very early on knowing that okay there was going to be some Swedish in this Swedish piece of people in this season. I was like, I'm intrigued. So yeah, I'm not Swedish per se. Well, per se, I'm not Swedish. I'm Norwegian. Though yeah, I'm a neighbor to Sweden, so like for example in Norway when you see Astrid Lindgrens, People Longstocking and Emil and all that stuff, it's not dubbed. So that way we have a little Swedish like on our TV when we were kids. And then when we're adults, we watch The Bridge, we watch different Swedish movies and stuff. So like we have like a somewhat idea of what Swedish sounds like and how they are, I suppose, in a way. Like we have a stereotype of them, I suppose, in a way, because we're so close to them and stuff. So yeah, I was very, very intrigued to see this season 2 and how Umbrella Academy would handle the Swedes. And I think, I'm not sure when I did, but I remember pretty quickly like checking out like did they cast anyone Swedish? I checked out. I suppose all three of them kind of looked Swedish. I mean, they were pale, they had bleach hair. I don't think bleach hair is that common in Sweden, though I suppose that could be like a side effect of them being these bad guys from the Bureau timeline timeline thingy. Um, yeah. So that could be like totally because of that. But yeah. But like I remember like in episode 2 or 3 they like fried some cod, some fish, and I really liked that. Okay, yeah, that's correct. So I love that nod to it, and then I really love the aspect of how for a long time. You just kind of want some more. For a long time, they didn't really talk. They just went around being silent and scary and violent and like fighting. Like for 2 or 3 episodes, they didn't say a word more or less. Maybe they grunted, but they didn't really say anything. So like for a long time, you didn't really know. Okay, have they done a Swedish? Are they going to talk in Swedish in English with a Swedish accent? Are they going to talk in English in Swedish? What's going on? What's going to happen? And then, I suppose also I really like the aspect. And then after a while, they started talking Swedish to each other. I suppose they are three Swedes, so don't you really hate it when in movies and TV series when like you have two Italians or two French or two Swedish people in an American TV series and they're in a scene with just those two and so let's talk in English. It's like, why would you talk in English if it's just you two do? Like, I can understand like if you're preparing to go to England or stuff like that, but like if it's just you two living in I don't know, no, the 1800s and you're not supposed to know English, then why are you talking in English then? It's kind of weird, really, and illogical, really. But yeah, so yeah, I'm really glad they spoke in Swedish, though I'm not sure you can call what they sent, what they spoke Swedish per se, because yeah, it was bad. It was real bad, real bad. It sounded. I don't know if you've seen this quote. I suppose maybe it's not that common around the world and stuff, but I remember if you like take your mind back many years when True Blood was on, and then True Blood, you know the HBO series with vampires. Sorry, and True Blood it actually had like he had Alexander Skarsgård. He's Swedish, and he was like a Viking vampire. He was turned when he was in the Viking time. So and in the show they used him like he had dialogues in Swedish, like with his friend, but also in flashbacks and stuff. He had his maker Godric was Danish, and he was also a Danish actor. I suppose because of those, like they were for real Scandinavians. So though, so their language was perfectly done. There was nothing wrong with that at all. Though, of course, what's his name? Yeah, Alexander Skarsgård. He had some vampire friends in that series, and they had to speak with some Swedish now and then. He had to teach one of them Swedish because they were Americans. They didn't know Swedish. Kind of not that weird, really. Yeah. Most of them sound like a Russian whore. I suppose kind of weird to say Russian whore. They sound Russian. They didn't really sound Swedish at all. So you can really, really tell that they weren't Swedish. And honestly, I would say that that's kind of like the same what really had to happen in Vampire Academy, in Umbrella Academy season 2. I mean, the Swedes, they were terrifying, they were scary, but their Swedish, when they talked, was terrifyingly bad. Terrifyingly bad. And like, I don't know, I know, as I said, I know none of them were Swedish. Like, there were no Swedish actors. And I don't know if any of them like went to Sweden to do any research and then just fail at it, or what they did, or if they didn't do anything, or I don't know. I suppose yeah, they didn't have that many lines, but I suppose that's kind of like what's bugging me. Like they have like maybe 6 lines in like all the 80 episodes in the 8 episodes. Like me, like if for some reason I was asked to participate in a video for someone in Russian or for someone in Portugal or some other language and help them out and do a few lines. If I was going to just do a few lines, I'm pretty sure I would be able to nail those few lines. Yeah, I probably wouldn't like be able to learn a whole language because of one video or one assignment, but a few lines, I could probably do that perfect. But people around Umbrella Academy, they didn't. So I don't really know if like I'm not sure like what's the dealio like in Hollywood. Do they not really have people have enough money to have accents coached, or do they have to do that themselves, the actors? But if they have to do that themselves, actually, like the one that's most prominent. I know I'm talking a lot about Umbrella Academy, but this is bugging me. The one that was kind of the most prominent, most important, Swede, the one who survived through it all. They never really get any names in it. I'm not sure, but yeah. Chris Holden, the actor Chris Holden. He actually used to work in a TV series. He actually used to play in a TV series, Lost Girl, where for the life of me, I'm blanking out. You know what? I'm gonna double check. Right, I'm back. So yeah, Chris Holden Reed actually, I name an actor. He used to play in Lost Girl, another TV series that ended a few years ago. And in that one, Rachel Skarstan, she another actress, she played a Valkyrie. And Rachel Skarstan actually is half Norwegian. Her dad was Norwegian, so she was first generation not Norwegian. Her dad moved to Canada where she grew up. And actually, because of her dad dying when she was like 18, 19, she actually decided to go to Norway like, to learn the language proper. Um, she went on a backpacking around Europe, around I think also around Norway and stuff. So it's kind of very much known fact that she knows Norwegian fluently. I haven't found any clips on it on YouTube, but like it's pretty known that she knows it fluently. I think maybe it's used in the Lost Girl TV series. Might be wrong in there, but might happen. So yeah, and both Chris Holden and Rachel Skarstan worked in Lost Girl together, and now Chris Holden worked in Umbrella Academy. So I'm pretty sure I could have just picked up a phone and asked like Rachel, could you maybe help me trying to do a Swedish accent? Because yeah, Swedish it's not the same as Norwegian, but it's similar. And if she knows Norwegian, she probably like has heard some Swedish around. Then maybe she's heard a Swedish song or like something. So yeah, I mean, you could have fixed this, Chris. You could have fixed this. I don't know. Maybe if your direction was to like be a bad Swede, I'm not really sure what the idea was behind that. And also, like in Umbrella Academy season 2, they also actually had a one episode where they had uh, a cover of Adele in Swedish, and I think that was like by a Swedish singer, and that was like perfect. That was just no problem there at all. It was just perfect. So that kind of like so you can't contact British you can contact Swedish singers, but you can't have actors do it perfectly. I don't know. But also though, a little side note here and saying really, the one that actually gets to actually speak the most Swedish is Kate Walsh, like the handler, and she has like a whole maybe a small little monologue. And yeah, she wasn't perfect either, but I really liked her performance in that scene. So yeah, Kate, I'm gonna give you just a thumbs up for the try. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad really. I've heard worse. So yeah, and I suppose like if you're doing a bad Swedish accent and a bad acting, that's worse than just doing a bad accent. So yeah. So yeah, half 20 minutes on one topic, but yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop there. All in all, I really liked Umbrella Academy season 2. Can't wait for season 3. But yeah, I had something to think about on it, as I just mentioned. And then I'm gonna go on to, you know what? I'm gonna open another snack. Or in this case, a snack soda. So actually, in some ways, we Norwegians are kind of weird. For example, we like when this Easter, when this Christmas, we have like Christmas candy. So instead of like having a special candy that we just eat during Christmas, we have a candy that we call like Christmas chocolate. It's like Christmas chocolate delight or Christmas this, Christmas that. And we also have Christmas soda. Some people have like a rule you can't really drink it before like November or something. But I found it in the store today for like I want to use it in this video. So yeah, why not? Let's go crazy. Just also like because of all the talking, I kind of need something to drink. I'm just gonna open it and not lose all over me. It really reminds me of my childhood and like endings of like when you have like stuff Christmas pageants and stuff like in primary school and kind of all these numbers. I suppose your next question is probably like, Renee, what does Christmas soda taste like? Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure how to answer it really. It's sweet, obviously it's a soda. Other than that, it's kind of difficult to say. Really, I would say it's kind of like this generic sweet taste. It's not like Fanta. Fanta is kind of orangey tasty, and Coke has kind of like a bitter but like good taste. But and this one, I would say it's kind of more sweet. Can't really say anything more than that, really. You can maybe see if IKEA has this as well. Could be. But yeah, I do know actually. I do remember I once met American. She was studying in Norway, and she tasted. And also we actually have lots of different Christian sodas. So it's not one type. It's of different brands, and they're all like different types of sweetness, and some are more bitter and stuff. And yeah, and she tasted one of them. So this was like in, I think maybe it was February. So a lot of them were not being sold anymore. But she got one of them, tasted one of them, and she felt like, oh yeah, this tastes like. And then she had a name of American thing. So I think there's probably something similar in America. Like you have so much food in America. There's probably something similar to everything in the rest of the world over in America. Also Canada. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that if you're Canadian and you see this, you won't find something similar there. But yeah. So good. So good. Okay, so let's move on to the next item. Item sounds so weird. The next thing on my list, and that is Emily in Paris. So that's the recent hyped up. Well, it's why would I do that? It's a recent hyped up show that came recently on Netflix. I heard about it. I think maybe actually heard about it when it was ordered, and then didn't really think about it, and I saw a trailer. Was like, oh, that looks funny. That looks cheesy, but something you kind of want nowadays. And then yeah, when I came out, I saw it, I was like, oh, you're good. Like in the second episode, when it was like kind of this issue of like sexist or sexism, and that was fun. But like I felt like for most of it, it was kind of more cheesy and wasn't that heavy. But like honestly, some people say like you need more of this and more of this. Like, does every TV series need to have everything in it? I mean, sometimes you just want some light fun. Sometimes it's just good with the escapism and the cheerfulness, and that most of that she doesn't have a lot of hardship. Though, yeah, I suppose more for conflict would be good and all that. But yeah, I really enjoy that series. Really enjoyed it. And Lucas Bravo, oh, Gabriel, he's so hot, so hot. A man who can cook, a man who speaks French and English, and who's so nice, and yeah, he's just perfect. He's perfect. No wonder he's on everyone's mind lately because Swoon, Swoon. But yeah, other than that, I suppose I don't really have that much really to say about Emily in Paris. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend you check it out if you need something fun to watch. It's not, as I said, it's not very heavy on a lot of topics and stuff, but there's like some topics here and there, some issues here and there. But like for most of it, it's just pure fun. And sometimes you kind of need pure fun, especially in this year. So yeah, I suppose that's kind of kind of that. I kind of really want to see season two, kind of see it's expanding and stuff, like what happens in season two and stuff. But yeah, for the most part, yeah. Well, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, then I think open up this one. Yeah, probably just gonna open up stuff and then eat a bit here, a bit there, and then not eat them all. So I suppose maybe it's a bit fake. You know what? I'm just gonna eat up this one. Okay, so yeah, this is what I said. It's called Dime. It's actually a friend of mine's favorite chocolate in Norway. You get it often. You get like two in one package, and it's a caramel. So it's one of those caramels that's like hard and I suppose was like kind of like cemented. It's not fluent caramel. It's not it's not fluid. You get what I mean? But like it's hard, but it's yeah, still so tasty. So it just so good, so tasty. Really enjoy it. Obviously, why do I keep saying that? Really enjoy it. Really like this book. I say a lot of my videos, but like, obviously, why else would I talk about them? I don't know. I say the darndest things, okay? But yeah, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is Nicola Yoon. Well, Nicola Yoon and Frank. Nicola Yoon and her husband. Is he called Yoon as well? Just give me 1 second. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So it's both, yeah. So Nicola and David Yoon. It's sorry, it's the book of David that's called Frank. He is called David. Yeah, Nicola and David Yoon together they're actually launching a YA romance imprint. This one focusing on protagonists of color. So instead of having like one, so I suppose maybe lately it's maybe like 3 or 4, 5 romances with YA romances with heroes of color in Polish in a year, you'll have much more in a year, and it's kind of become it'll probably be much more variety because there's a whole imprint focused solely on that. And yeah, so Nicola Yoon, she's most famous for writing Everything, and The Sun is also a Star, both being made into a movie. Her husband, David Yoon, wrote Frankly in Love. Frankly, I didn't give a shit about it, but the others I really liked. Well, everything I really love. Sun is also a Star. I didn't really like it that much. I DNF'd it. But yeah. But of course, as I'm talking about this, yeah, I love this idea oops, of an imprint of YA romances with persons of color. And okay, so I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna read the announcement here. So, the announcement is well, it was talks about how I loved romantic comedies and romances, novels when I was younger. Loved the meet cutes, the breakups, makeups, and the final chase scene, followed by the big speech playing one person's love for the other. I had so many favorites. Then Harry met Sally, The Princess Bride. I'm just gonna, sorry, be talking a lot. The Princess Bride, Say Anything, Moonstruck, not to mention an unreasonably a number of Harlequin romance books. But as much as I loved those titles, they always left me with nagging questions. Where were the girls who looked like me? Didn't black girls ever fall in love? Joy Revolution is not focused on stories of black pain or yeah, that's the name of the imprint. Joy Revolution. It's not focused on stories of black pain or immigrant struggle. Our books won't be issue oriented or polemical. The Joy Revolution imprint. Sorry. Um, the Joy Revolution imprint about telling stories of big love. The characters in them have big ideas about the world and their place in it. I believe love stories are truly revolutionary. Why? Because love has power to unmake and remake the world. And I'll just link this article in the comments. Well, in the in the in the description box, Yubudu, as I'll do with other stuff. Yeah, just kind of wanted a bit more food, a bit more, yeah, of the soda. So yeah, that imprint sounds so good. It's it's coming out. I think the first book is coming next year. Does it say like yeah? No, sorry. The debut book will be coming in 2022. It's actually 2 years from now, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not that far ahead in the future. So I'm happy. I'm happy. hmm So yeah, that's the third thing. And then last, but definitely not least, maybe probably in a way the most, is this news. I suppose you might have heard of this, but then again, you might not. But earlier this year, sorry, well, that also well, earlier this week, it was announced that Sandra Bullock and Ryan, I was about to say Ryan Phillippe, sorry, and Ryan Reynolds are getting back together and making a movie. So they plan to film a movie, and I think Sandra Bullock is producing it, and it's someone else doing the script, but she doesn't need to do it all herself. And the concept is that Sandra Bullock will be playing a romance novel writer that finds out that the island from her books is real. So it's kind of like a romance, comedy, action adventure, kind of like Romancing the Stone. Though actually I saw Romancing the Stone last year. Didn't think it was all that, but I like the concept of it. And I love Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. I just love him so much ever since Two Girls, I Girl and a Feet, Two Guys, I Girl and Pizza Place. I love the Berg. And I just, yeah, I love Ryan Reynolds. How can you not? How can you not ask you? How can you not? So yeah, I'm just so excited. So far, I think they either have an idea or they have a script. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so I'll link that also in doobly and cannot wait. So yeah, that was my little fun Friday update. I suppose yeah, when I can think of it, I forgot to eat one chocolate, but I can do another video. It's not like I have to do it. I mean, it's not like I'm sponsored, so it's up to me. It is quite up to me. That's the joy of not being sponsored. So yeah, well, I suppose also in a way I'm like sponsored by my joy, by myself. So yeah, I hope you have a nice weekend. And next week I'm doing Jewish, so probably Monday I'll probably have my TBR of that up. I'm probably sure I'm doing it on Monday. And other than that, I'm not really sure. Yeah, and yeah, also you might have remember, sorry, remember last week when I had a video of things I hoped would happen in New York Comic Con? None of those came to fruition. So yeah, not that fun. But hey, I suppose that's how it is really sometimes. And yeah, well, even though that didn't happen, other stuff happened. As talked about this in this video. So yeah, sorry, excuse my burping. And yeah, I hope you have a nice weekend. And if you have any thoughts, opinions on the things I talked about, leave them in doobly. If there's any fun things you heard about this week, leave them in also in doobly in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye bye.